Festive season offers the perfect opportunity to recklessly overspend, leading to a new year. Festive season financial hangover, holiday debt will be even closer. Well, financial advisors are encouraging South Africans to stick to their budget in these tough economic times. Financial educator John Manyike joins us now to tell us how to avoid an overspending hangover. John, thanks very much indeed for coming through. I mean, so we're in mid-month.
Yes.
Most of us belonging to these firms have already been paid perhaps yesterday. And if history is anything to go by, we South Africans are not a prudent bunch, are we?
Not at all. In fact, our economy is still in intensive care unit. But strangely, year in, year out, we are so desensitized to the realities of over-indebtedness that because of the atmosphere, I don't know if you're familiar with Amapiano.
So yep, but I can't do the dance. Okay.
Yeah, you know, because of, the atmosphere, the music, we're surrounded by people who are ready to spend, people who want to celebrate. So we cannot resist that peer pressure to actually spend money wisely during the festive season. And we complain that January is the longest month. You mentioned earlier the fact that a lot of people actually get paid early. In most cases, it's around the 20th of the month. The problem is when people start dipping into that salary, which is meant for January, and then we start spending that in December.
But I've got to, I mean, just to take a few steps back, there's a more serious concern. 2 weeks ago, we had Black Friday. I would imagine credit cards were swiped all over the place. Now you get paid, you've got to attend to that.
Yeah.
That's another dilemma, isn't it?
No, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. I'm sure the credit cards were overheating from swiping during the Black Friday. But, you know, for those who perhaps used Black Friday as part of their festive shopping, you know, to do your December groceries, maybe not a bad idea. But the problem is if you've not prioritized your basic living expenses, you know, when you get paid, and if you're one of the fortunate few who were paid a bonus during November period, unfortunately, you know, you would have missed the opportunity to allocate a portion of that bonus towards, debt, because short-term debt is quite expensive.
And let me ask you this, because you're in the banking industry, and I want to get a sense of how many South Africans, and if they're really out there, they get this pay, there's a bulk lump sum of pay. Is there a lot of us out there that actually take care of the future debt that's coming our way and make that payoffs at the very beginning, or do we still have a long way to go in that regard?
No, I think we still have a long way to go. I mean, if you consider the fact that out of the 24 million credit active consumers, only half of those are actually up to date. So a lot of people have adverse listing or impaired credit records because we're not prudent in managing our finances. So there's certainly a scope for work to be done in raising awareness and really educating people about the need to actually manage money prudently.
This is a self-indulgent question.
Yeah.
Do we spend as South Africans just too much on food? I don't think that's an unfair question.
Well, no, not at all. I think, of course, we do. But I think more than anything, it's really entertainment, you know. So I think we really overindulge in entertainment. But then there are other realities. I mean, I think I'm sure Labour would also argue that, you know, the issues around the minimum wage could be amongst other things. And then, of course, given the history and people having extended families, you know, that they have to look after, people are generally constrained. But we have to be mindful of the fact that we cannot just focus on entertaining ourselves during the festive season while forgetting that there's debt to be paid. In fact, for parents with school-going children, this is the best time to actually prioritize your stationery, your uniform, with your December shopping when you get paid in December for January.
So finally, let me just close off by asking you, presumably there's still some cash left over from Friday.
If you're lucky.
What's the single most important thing to do with that money?
Prioritize your debts. And then make sure that you cover your basic living expenses. It's always better to cover those things so that you don't have cash on hand that's meant for something else, because then it's easy to get tempted to use the money for something else.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much indeed for that piece of advice. That was financial educator John Manyike.